call a meeting to order for the Townsend Finance Committee, 6:04 PM. Roll call attendance, please.
Carol Hoffs is present.
Jerome Bezig is present.
David Walker present.
Kathleen Spofford present.
Mary Jane Churchill present.
Sam Grant present.
Don Hayes present. All 7 members are present. We call to order. We have a quorum. We are good to continue. This meeting is being recorded. It will be available for playback on local channels, on cable, and it's available on the YouTube channel. At this point, is there anybody else recording the meeting?
Yes.
Okay, and that would be Cindy King. I don't see anybody else online. Thank you, just so we're aware and follow the rules. Additions or deletions, none known at this, I have nothing to add or delete at this point. Moving into the work session, reviewing the minutes, I did not put the details in here. We have 4 minutes to review from the meetings of November 12th, November 19th, December 3rd, and December 8th.
We're gonna do them all at once or?
We can do the, if there's no changes and you want to make a motion to accept the minutes for all 4 meetings as they are.
I will make a motion to accept the minutes of all 4 meetings as they are.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Good to me.
Okay, since we are all here, we can do a voice vote. All in favor of submitting the meeting minutes as is?
Aye.
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 All opposed? I didn't. None? Passes unanimously. And Carol, if you would, forward them to
The town
town
clerk.
clerk, and they'll get updated. If you haven't been to the website for the finance committee, when the agendas are posted, they go to the minutes section on the website, and when they get the minutes, they will be posted beside them, so you can see the agendas and the minutes all on the same
Okay.
page.
Okay.
So just, we haven't discussed sometimes a lot of the details of what the website looks like and things like that. It's not in the finance committee. Maybe we'll add a link to our minutes directly. That could be something good, but there is a minutes directory, and every committee is under there, and then you expand them out and you see all of the meeting agendas and the minutes for each committee in there. So they are available, and they will be public record at that point and recorded by the clerk. Okay, kind of long, but again, just something that I wanted to touch on because not everybody maybe knows where it is. And okay, moving on to item 2, the review the budget software for ClearGov and come up with our recommendations to the select board at this time. We had discussion about it, but we didn't vote on it, so I thought this would be a time to review what we had discussed, document it, and forward to select board and town administrator.
What did we forward to them?
We haven't forwarded anything yet, but we talked about the ClearGov software. Some of the highlights that I recall were the initial $10,000 to get it set up for a trial, plus about $20,000 a year, was expensive, and we didn't really have from there a problem solution. What is the software really what's the problem the software is trying to resolve? So we're spending $20,000 a year, and we haven't necessarily defined what it was. And it's only one product. There are multiple products. So that was the cost. Seemed high for to add $20,000 a year to the budget. And where do we come up with that money?
Well, I think the other concern was who's inputting the data,
Mhm.
and is that an additional cost?
and which data.
And then, but how about, okay, so
Yeah.
who scheduled that sales pitch with ClearGov?
I'd say it was town administrator.
So can the town administrator schedule two more so we can get at least two more
Compare, to see, compare.
comparisons to
Comparisons.
see who's,
That's
out
what our
there?
recommendation is gonna, that's one of the recommendations we would like to put in there, is this is one product. We saw a demonstration of North Townsend data, just some of the user interface stuff, so.
what are we using now?
We actually don't use anybody's budgeting software, we're using Excel to put together the
Yeah.
worksheets
And
and the
paper.
omnibus budget.
Innovate.
I mean, in the past, we had the Collins files
Mhm.
there, that you could take the data, add it into the Collins file, and you could see the 5-year in the past and use that going forward too. But the Collins file hasn't been used.
Does DLS have form?
D- DLS has data, but we'd have to take a look at what it is. They have historical data that we supply to them, and they put it in, and you do have the ability to look, but it's not budgeting software. The budgeting Excel file they have is only pretty much what we saw in the select board meeting that was demonstrated, where you put in a percentage and you can see what the budget is. Nelson had put that together, and showed the next 5 years and what the gap would be using, he had, I think, 3% increases in there.
I think it's a good idea to have budgeting software,
Mhm.
especially if you can advance it forward for 5 years, so you do a 5-year plan. And I do
Mhm.
agree with that. I think right now, for this year, it's too late.
Mhm. Right.
We're not gonna get anything from it this year.
Right.
But I think now is the time to explore it for next year. So
Mhm.
maybe it wouldn't be in 26 budget, but going forward in 27. But we should explore more than one.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
because you said there was another company that we use in
Vadar.
other departments,
Vadar.
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
the software that we use to do the business of the town.
Right, we want to, I think we want to see what they have and what
Yeah.
their option is, since we're already using them.
Right, and again, if there's any plans, maybe that we're moving away from that, I don't,
Right,
we're not in the,
Right.
we're not within the, the business of the town, but we can ask those questions. Are you planning to stick with Radar? Do you want to move to something else, another product? So it's kind of, so if you're staying with Radar, why not, as you talked about, when you start using multiple licenses for a product, usually you start getting the discount bundle.
right.
Have we talked to them at all?
I don't know. It's kind of like we've only had the ClearGov, so I need to get that and see if there's others already in discussion that they're gonna bring in and demonstrate.
So who exactly is using that here now?
The Vadar,
Mhm.
treasurer collector use it,
Okay.
accounting uses it.
So we should
And
probably make
assessors.
contact with them and see if they like it or not.
Get their opinion of it.
Exactly. I mean, if they're the ones who
Well,
were,
I can ask them if
They're
you want.
using it.
Next, because I'll be in next week and stuff.
okay.
So I can talk to
Right,
them and
yeah.
ask them. I have another question. So whose purview is this under, the Board of Selectmen's? We just make a recommendation? It's not like we can go out and purchase it, right?
Right, yeah, no, it's not. It's kind of like, but we're the first interface, and the idea with this software is that the data is universal, and anybody from town can log in and see the data.
Now,
It's
would
kind of like, you see
this-
the reports.
this also produce budget sheets for each department for them to use? So that they would
They-
actually be putting in
they-
their numbers?
Their own data.
They would go into the interface and put their data in, so that instead of being a worksheet that they fill out and move, you enter the data directly into the databases through their user interface. So a department would see the historical information and say, this is what I want to put going forward.
And then we'd
into
be
the
able
field.
to see
And then
that?
we would be able to see it.
Okay,
So-
all right, yeah, so
And-
this year, I mean, the budgets are due in next week sometime.
Right, so there's no, there's
Or the
no
weekend.
time to do
Yeah.
it, so it's kind of like, so it gets down to,
And I think that's what happened before when we had it.
It,
was too
There
It
was-
was too late, we never used, the departments never.
the departments never used it, the data was never validated. There was no tie to say, yes, this looks like Townsend's data that we would produce and wanna see.
Yeah.
And because also with it, you can use that to produce the files that you, submit into, town meeting.
Oh, okay.
You know, so the idea
It is
is,
very useful. Okay.
the, um,
So when would we talk to, when would we make this decision? I mean, when would we be able to get more information with the budget happening?
with the budgets happening, as Kathy said, I think we have to go through with the Excel spreadsheets this year.
No, I get that, yeah, but
So we'll continue that, but moving forward, we'll ask for additional vendors to come in and show us the demos, look for pricing and see if there's a clear winner.
are you gonna?
When you only look at one and you have a choice of one, it's hard to
It's
say,
not a
I've got the
choice.
best. It's not a
I
choice,
wasn't,
Yeah.
I
it's
wasn't,
this or nothing.
Right,
it's been too many years since I played with that Dove thingy, but
Mhm.
I was not pleased with it when I was playing with it the last time around. It just, I think it's kind of simple. I mean, basically speaking, we're looking for a whole bunch of different types of reports, but they're all kind of simple.
Mhm.
This
Right.
report we've gotten from,
Yeah.
that you've handed out, I don't know what you call it, that is very condensed
Mhm.
and, keeps us in track of what's happening. That's easy to pull out. I don't see why Excel can't be massaged in such a way to do all of that.
Mhm.
Especially if each department has access to this particular spreadsheet that
Mhm.
has the
Yeah.
past several years, the present, and put in what you want for the future. Does that add up down here at the bottom to equal if we're having level
Mhm.
funding?
Right.
Well, I think our first step should be see if the girls like what they're using
Yeah.
now or not. I mean,
Yeah.
Then we have to
Mhm.
start someplace, so why
And-
not
yeah,
yeah.
come right out and ask them, what do you think of it?
And
And
that's,
then-
yeah.
Explore what else is out there.
That's
But I
more-
don't think we should just go with the one just because it was presented to us.
Right.
We
no,
definitely want to see more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Other.
Yeah. You're right, we should ask.
And I guess,
ones
so,
that are
so
using
it seems like,
Yeah,
so I will make a motion that our recommendation to the select board is to review it, is to get
several
presentations on at least two more
Mhm.
packages,
Yeah.
presentations and quotes on at least two more packages.
Right.
second,
Do you think that, I wonder if the girls that, are using whatever they're using now, if they would have any recommendations, have they seen other packages?
Yeah, and I'm not sure what Vicky uses in, Dunstable, if it's Vadar or not.
Right,
Oh, yeah, I
Because she
hadn't thought
might
about going to
use-
other towns.
Yeah,
yeah.
See what they,
yeah,
See
They
what they're using,
Well, I'd
Dunstable and Groton, Pepperell.
Pepperell, yeah.
recommend altering the word "to" to several.
oh,
to several.
I mean, just to
Amending.
give us a
Just
chance
give
to,
it-
oh, what about, like Dunstable says,
Sure.
this one's working for us, you've
Yeah,
got
that's
this
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
internal one, and then maybe there's another one. So the word several covers more than two.
Yeah.
Without going to have a dozen.
That's fine. I have no problem with that.
Mhm. Okay, so the motion is being amended.
Do we need a second to his motion?
I'll second the amendment,
Okay.
motion to amend.
And the answer is yes, we. Both. Okay. And I didn't stick with it, so could you read the amended motion?
Okay, well, if I get it right.
Okay. But that's what we want to do.
Okay, Sam made a motion to amend the, to amend and change at least two more packages to
Or,
several packages. From two to several,
Right.
at least two to several packages.
Yeah. okay, so, we had a motion for changing the two to several. and a second on it. Any further questions on that? Vote on amending the original motion. All in favor?
We're voting on
Aye.
amending the original motion?
Yes,
Because there was a motion made
and
and
then was an amendment, yep,
Yeah.
yep, that's,
Yeah,
Okay,
get the one.
that's how town meeting works. I'm trying to stick.
okay.
no,
I don't usually, but it's
No,
kind of like, I think
I think that's
Yeah,
right.
fine.
that's following
Okay.
the rules. Okay, so all in favor of the change from 2 to several in the original motion?
Aye.
All opposed? None heard. It passes unanimously. We're back to the original motion with the amendment, which is to recommend to the select board to review several options with us so that we can see other options and make it, do comparisons.
Shouldn't we sort of be the ones that are looking, I mean, seeing as we're the ones that are really gonna probably use it more than the select board?
No, they're gonna use it too. They'll use it as much as we do. They kind of like, so
Okay.
select board will use it.
And they're the ones who make the
Town
determination,
administrator.
we just
Right,
recommend, right?
All we can do is recommend.
Right, we can only recommend, but the other part is maybe we should, when we have the meeting and the review with the select board, is bring in, and I think they did, they had financial team, and Vicky was in the room, but as they do the review, have some of the people that are using the software.
Yep.
See,
Yeah, and it wasn't presented very well. I don't,
I,
and,
It was horrible.
and I didn't even know it was, that's what we were there for.
Yeah, no, it was really bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad. And we didn't hear from Vicky.
Right.
Or anybody else for that matter. We just, Nelson with his
Hmm.
creative financing and, the sales pitch, that was pretty much the night.
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah, and there was no real time for a lot of heavy questions
No,
with it.
No, and they couldn't even tell you how much it cost of all things.
Hmm.
No, and I think I think there was additional costs if you
Oh, yeah, it was
added,
the menu and how many you got. and all this,
But they
you know.
didn't even answer who was gonna put the information in. They couldn't even answer that.
no, that's right, they, inputting the data, they could,
Yeah.
they wouldn't answer that question.
Yeah, it was very poor.
Yeah.
Very poor.
So,
It was a sales pitch. It wasn't an informative thing.
right, there wasn't,
well, we can see, if they get some other folks in, we'll see what kind of sales pitch they do, maybe they'll do
maybe
better.
they'll do
maybe
better.
Well, yeah,
worse.
maybe we should give them a
Or-
heads up. We wanna know.
it'll be the same type of thing.
Yeah, don't send a salesperson, send a research person.
Have a list of things we want first.
right,
Well, that's a good idea.
That's, yeah,
right, and what
that would probably be a good idea, so then whatever vendor, they'll all have the same information.
right,
Well, we need to know how much it's gonna cost, I would think.
Well,
That'd be a
if we
big
gave
one.
them the information that we
We
wanted to
wanted.
see,
Yeah.
then they can price it up, then we would get a realistic price.
Mhm.
right.
And, rather than, well, if you know, this is the basic, and then if you want this, if you want
Yeah,
that.
that doesn't
then
tell you
it-
anything,
So,
Yeah,
maybe we
The
just.
bundles.
Yeah,
Yeah, no. Okay, I think that's a good idea. I mean, not only is it a good idea, it's a fiscally sound way to make decisions.
Mhm, right, yeah, agreed.
Okay, well, so the motion though is to recommend getting several more
right,
presentations, so we're ready to vote on that?
we did.
No, we voted on the
No, we
amendment.
voted.
Yeah.
Oh, on the
amendment.
amendment.
Yeah, we voted on amendment.
Oh, so we need
So
to-
this was this discussion
Yeah.
after the second, so.
Okay, so we going back to the first motion?
We're going to the
To the
first
amendment.
motion with the amendment. We
Right.
voted that it's gonna be, several, the word is several instead of 2.
Okay.
Instead of having it,
Right, we're
Yeah,
going from
it's kinda
2
like-
to 7.
yeah. So that is the motion on the floor to recommend that we review the several additional software packages. So vote, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nobody opposed, unanimously passes. So we will get that in writing, recommend it, get it to town administrator and select board copy. Most times we're copying the liaison to the select board for us, which is.
Okay, which is a good idea where we're gonna have that transition to,
Mhm, right,
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 3.
Number 3 on the list. The constable position. So as we've been going through last budget session, and the constable position was eliminated by the town, and we had the report from the town clerk. It was about $1,000 more per election for the cost of having the police do the detail versus the constable.
So it's about $200 compared to $1,000,
I
right?
have it right here.
1,300.
Oh, thank you.
I have it here.
Thank you for explaining it. That is reference.
So
Oh,
in
there you
doing-
go.
Thank you.
In doing some research,
Okay.
back in 1993, the town accepted
Thank you.
Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 91A, which states the selectmen in any town may from time to time appoint for terms not to exceed 3 years as many constables as they deem necessary. And at one of the town meetings, I forget if it was in March or May, we tried to have them bring the constables back, and we were shot down on that, or I was shot down on that. So the other way we could possibly do this, and I'm not exactly sure how it works, is to rescind that vote from 1993. And then I believe the constables would then be elected again.
Oh, I see where you're going. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But we have to have that put on to the special town meeting.
So you're saying at this town meeting that we're gonna have the special?
Yeah.
We rescind, and then at the annual, we warrant, put on as a warrant article.
Yeah,
To
no,
elect,
so they would be on the ballot at that.
oh,
point.
be on the ballot.
I
Like
think,
any other
Does it
town
automatic-
elected position.
yeah,
So how would that read?
you know, I can't get it on my phone and I left the paper at home, but it would just basically say, to ask the town to rescind that vote from 1993 for that.
So if that
Jackson.
vote were rescinded, then automatically the constables would be elected, or,
That's what I'm thinking.
What about the fact that the constable positions have been quote unquote eliminated?
yeah,
Right.
can we,
You'd have to
Yeah.
would you have to reinstate them
Yeah.
first?
that's what I,
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
Who
I-
asked
if
me?
it- If it's, are they eliminated, is that official? Cindy, are they eliminated?
Then
22 years ago, wow.
Well, they
No,
No,
eliminated.
22 years ago, they
They-
voted to have them appointed,
Appointed.
rather
Yeah.
than.
but then they
And
just eliminate, what did they do?
well, they
changed
changed the policy
They-
so that we don't have it, basically.
Well, do we not have any, or did they change the policy they weren't gonna use?
We don't have any after they were appointed until the end of 2025, FY
They could
25.
have reappointed.
So
them.
in June, they weren't reappointed at that point.
But were they eliminated? Were they terminated?
The position was terminated and the function was moved to the police at that point.
So that's
Based on
official, we know that to
policy.
be true.
Yeah,
So-
based on policy. of-
So then you'd have to create a new position in order to fill
And
it.
make it elected.
Yeah, I think.
If the
Yeah, I don't know.
position was eliminated from the budget.
I think we need more information.
Well, we never paid. The town never paid
Paid,
right.
constables,
Okay.
It was
except
paid.
when they were working for us.
It was a
It's not a paid
stipend.
position,
Okay,
unless they did services for the town.
okay.
That's why I just can't wrap my mind around why they would do that.
Didn't they say there was some
There was, at that
hazy
meeting,
reason about their
Excuse me.
legal abilities or what legal
Well,
responsibilities?
when we asked Lori Schifrin originally, when she told us and dropped the bomb, we asked her, she said she wasn't gonna tell us and she didn't have to. I remember that like it was yesterday.
yeah, but at town meeting, the police chief got up and said there was some kind of liability to the
And then the
town.
lawyer said it, but I put in a public request to find out how many times did the constables use a gun and put somebody at risk? And I asked, how many times did the constables arrest people? And as usual, I'm still waiting for my answer to come back, because the answer is probably none.
Well, are the surrounding towns still using constables? Do we know?
I think
Lunenburg does not. They've always used police officers and they can't get a constable to come work the elections or anything because it will be stepping on the police toes, so they
Okay, yeah,
kinda.
right, get that
Yeah.
whole,
But I
yeah.
think the numbers
Same
speak for
reason.
themselves.
Well,
It's
well,
not like we're rolling in big bucks here in
No.
Townsend. And we're talking $1,000
versus
Yeah,
200,
per,
yeah,
per, right?
yeah.
Per,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Election.
per
Yeah.
election.
That
We
we don't
know
have,
we're gonna have one, if not two.
So I don't know, maybe now is not the time to do it, I don't know, because I don't know what, if they've been eliminated, can they now be elected?
But it would have to, yeah, they changed the bylaws and the town bylaws to make.
So how
them
would we
elected
find that
position.
out?
We can investigate it, we can put in a request to speak with the lawyer. And,
and the select people let you know whether you can or not.
Right. The lawyer already told us all the reasons why we shouldn't have it. I thought that was pretty much not, neutral. Maybe because he
Okay,
didn't have
yeah.
any evidence, you
Right.
know what I mean? It's one thing to say stuff, and it's another thing to be able to back it up. And there was no backup.
Yeah.
And I didn't get any from my public records request. So, to me,
Yeah.
all right, so in 2 years, it's gonna be the primary, what do you call it?
We have the presidential primary, which adds an extra one in the spring, so we'd have to map out when elections are.
I mean, a
Because it's-
congressional primary this year.
Right.
We have congressional in November, so
Yes.
but that's FY 27, so it's kind of like FY 26. There's one, unless we have some sort of special election, so we might have 2 elections this year.
So that's 2,000.
So that's
2,000 versus 400.
depending on how the annual town meeting goes, if the vote for 5 select board members is there, that there would, if I recall, the motion is kind of like within 60 days, so that gets you, if you're into July, now you've got July, you've got September, you've got November, then you have April. If you don't have a special, so you might plan on 5 elections that next fiscal year, which is FY 27, if we do this.
So
now-
it's
now you're at
$5,000
$1,000.
Right,
versus
and it's gonna vary because.
I mean,
of-
financially, this is a no-brainer.
But there's never really been any really horrible trouble that they've had to have a weapon or, or anything
No,
Well,
like that.
apparently not. I mean,
But those are the pieces.
unless
and
it's
I
so
think-
atrocious that they can't tell us. But they're not giving us the information.
Yeah, so, yeah, so,
and it's probably gonna be even a little bit more, cause if you go FY 27, you get that
Yeah,
little
the
bit of
little
bump
bump,
up, the
you get that
little
bump up.
bump
Oh,
up,
yeah,
up,
yeah,
so,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you're talking a little, maybe closer to 6, maybe, I don't know.
I just financially,
and if they
I
go-
I don't
Yeah,
understand.
I don't get it at
Right, and
all.
if the detail goes long, if there's counts, the count takes long at night, the hours are longer.
Well, yeah, cause they're guaranteed 4 hours,
And then
no
you gotta
matter
do
what,
it
and
in
then,
increments of 4, correct?
I
well,
believe so.
Maybe
I,
6, because we
Well,
cover.
I mean, it's been a long
It's
time
8
since,
hours.
it's been a long time since I've
Mhm.
done detail pay. It used to be a minimum of 4 no matter what, if they
Yes,
worked 1
minimum of
hour.
4,
Minimum
but
of
at
four.
And
least
then
8.
it was, and then we
Right.
just paid them, when I did it, we just paid them whatever they work, so if they work 5 hours, they get 5 hours pay, but
Yeah.
I don't know if
Problem
that's changed.
is that the elections go from 7 AM to 8 PM.
Yeah,
Right.
so you
So
got,
it's 13 hours.
And this
Yeah.
crossover for
Yeah.
lunches and.
Yeah.
dinners and-
Well, you pay overtime.
Yeah.
and I don't know if you change, like when they change the shift, so you got it like you got a new guy. That new
4
guy
hours.
is now guaranteed 4 hours, even if he only works 3 hours, he's still guaranteed 4 hours, so, so if you change, because of shift changes, you get a new guy, then that detail money is 4 hours. So every time you change an officer during the course of the day, he's getting 4 hours.
So we need more information about the position.
So I was just looking at the policy and the amendment that was done in July of 23 says, the following amendment to the constable policy was approved by the select board in a meeting of 3/18/25 and voted unanimously. The policy shall be amended to remove the third sentence of the second paragraph, which reads, vacancies shall be announced and publicized in accordance with the town charter, Article 7, Section 710, notice of vacancy. So I don't know why we don't have a constable. I don't understand this at all.
Well, we were told that we were not gonna know why.
So we,
We were told by the selectmen. Essentially, it's not our business and they
But
weren't
they
gonna tell
actually,
us.
I don't see in this policy that says it does.
So we have to talk to town council
We have
to
to
get
talk
confirmation.
to, yeah, we put in the request to talk to town council and see where it is, and see what the new policy is, so maybe we can dig out with the town administrator what the policy is, so we can see it. And once we have that, we'll have an answer. So we'll continue, we'll put this on the next agenda also, if we're good with that.
I think
So
so.
he doesn't have office hours anymore, so we have to actually request, right?
We actually have to request,
Yeah.
they canceled the open office hours that were had, and in order to go in, the idea is that we ask around and see if somebody's already requested this information and it's already available. It's kind of, because
No,
what was happening was people asking
oh
for
my
the same.
goodness, so it's also gonna be difficult to get to him, right? We gotta
I
ask
don't think
around
so.
first, we have to have evidence, some kind of
Right, yeah,
affidavit that
it's
says
kinda
we
like it-
asked and.
We're
You
gonna
have
ask
to
for
go through the
information,
selectmen, is what you have to go through. You have to
see
ask
if
them
any of,
The town
No,
administrator.
Dawn is saying we have to ask around to see if anyone else is,
well,
ask
we'll
the
go
same
through the town
question.
administrator.
Oh, so you don't,
the new town
Right, so
administrator.
just so you're not gonna be paying twice to get the same information.
Correct.
Right,
Yeah, that's the idea, is to,
But wouldn't it be
they're watching the
somewhere?
budget.
Wouldn't it be somewhere?
yeah.
Well, that's the idea.
But
is
if you
it
could
might be
find
somewhere,
it.
somebody might have it, somebody could do a search on the drives for keywords and see if they come up, if it's not available. So we'll follow the rules and submit the request for the information. This is what we,
So
if we don't
request
have the
for-
information, we're looking to speak with the lawyer.
So what are we asking? Request for information on,
Constable policy or,
On the constable policy, yeah, we want to see
Clarification or something?
clarification of the policy. We haven't seen
You should have
what
it.
the policy is and where it was.
He should certainly know ahead of time what we're looking for before we even talk to him.
Right, well, that's, again, pieces of it is, if a lot of this has already been discussed and is part
Well-
of information that was already provided to Board of Selectmen,
right,
then,
right, that's fine.
yeah, it's kind of like, it,
Have some kind of clarification.
Right.
Well, I would think
With-
they would have
without-
some information for making the decision to eliminate the position.
Yeah,
They must have
so we
something.
voted on it.
Yeah, we must have something. Well, we
No, we
voted.
didn't vote on it, we tried to vote to
to keep
uneliminate
the,
it,
yeah.
to keep the constable.
Oh,
That
right,
failed.
right.
We didn't vote on
right,
eliminating
right,
it,
right,
they
right.
decided to eliminate it, we tried,
And
We
then
tried
the
to
town
make the
meeting, we
bylaw.
tried to overturn that
Oh,
and
that's
say,
right,
keep the
okay.
constable.
I know, okay.
And
I
that
get it.
failed.
And then it failed because
So they
I think the
eliminated
police
by
chief
part.
and the town council kind of said that
Well,
there
then-
was
Well,
a
yeah.
liability
So
there.
he wouldn't be neutral anyway.
So,
No, I lied,
Well,
absolutely not.
and once you
Yeah,
say
and
there's
he's supposed to-
liability to the town, people are not gonna vote, vote for it.
But Carol, that's why I asked for
I
the history
know,
on it. You know, it's like,
Yeah, and I
Peter Wolf, the
understand,
Wolf.
But-
Credit.
And they
That's
have to
right.
know.
Yeah,
but just, just as a normal citizen, you're sitting at town meeting, you don't know all
Right,
the,
yeah,
you don't know all the,
I understand
whatever.
that.
Well,
And because if I was sitting there and didn't know anything, and, somebody said, well, this is potential, especially with the police chief or the attorney says there's some liability,
But I won't tell you.
and
Right.
even you don't know what it is,
Oh,
you're
that's
probably gonna go,
National
it-
security.
But that's the delivery of the message. They
well, yeah,
should
no,
have said,
but I'm just
it
saying.
happened 100 times, so we really don't want to do it again.
Well,
You know, when he gave
yeah.
the information.
Mhm. No, I
Yeah.
know that, but you just, when
But-
you're talking at town meeting, though, you have a lot of people who just aren't that informed.
right,
Right.
Yeah, they haven't,
I mean, just like me, when I, voted for trash, not realizing that that wasn't gonna happen, when,
Yeah.
when I voted and said, oh, that 800,000, sure, I'll have my taxes go pay for trash. The next thing I know, I got purple bags and like, what happened to the trash money?
I know. So,
No, I was in
So
this.
we'll continue to investigate, we'll
to look at it,
to look at it, we'll move it to, the next agenda,
okay.
which I think is January 13th.
January
Okay.
I
13th,
think,
okay.
it's kind of like, I don't know if I usually put it on the agenda to say what the future meeting is.
I don't, I think
Yeah,
I
it is.
did. I
It's
think
on
it's on the
okay.
minutes
Yeah.
too, what the next meetings
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, so. Anything else on the constable? We'll continue. Then being heard, I left the special town meeting and warrant articles on there. Have not seen anything yet from select board when they're gonna open the warrant and close the warrant,
Now,
so.
do we have a date yet? Is it January, February
I think it's
25th or
February,
something?
but I hadn't gotten a confirmation on that. I
Okay.
think it was,
I think it was, they said the last Wednesday is what they were looking at,
Okay,
but I don't think
which would be-
anything definite.
yeah, it wasn't definite yet. They have.
Too late?
Yeah, I think they're trying to get past the bad weather and hopefully be on an upswing at the end of February in regards to weather. To get turnout, because usually those mid-winter ones, and I haven't.
Okay.
So, we'll continue, because if something monetary comes up, or something on the budget comes up on warrant articles, we need to vote on it and have so we'll continue to watch.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and it sounds like nobody else has heard anything coming from the warrant articles, or
No,
not yet, okay. And I didn't put it here, but we need to schedule the next meetings. I had sent out the notice from select board for joint meetings in February.
For what?
For February.
I think it was every Tuesday in February for a joint meeting,
yeah, three. there was
Yeah,
three
right,
Tuesdays.
I saw that.
3,
right.
10, 17.
But-
Do we have to pick one, or is that?
No, it would be joint meetings, one a week,
Okay,
through February.
Don, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
I do too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I sat through it last year. It was horrible. It was counterproductive. We didn't get anywhere. It was almost like we were being dictated to, this is what they wanted. End of story. I think that the finance committee should be working on its own without the input of the board of selectmen until a later date. Because I felt personally that it was more of a dictating process. This is what you're gonna do, rather than us being able to free talk and come up with our recommendations. That's just my opinion. And I think it was a tremendous waste of time, because at the end of the day, our
Well,
recommendations were ignored.
Right, and, I mean, the whole budget was pretty much.
It was a disaster. It never got, we didn't have a
that
budget.
Right,
No, we didn't.
Yeah,
And I do think, we might not, who knows? But I just feel that I would rather not walk in those steps again.
okay,
I say no.
Yeah.
There's no reason why they have to come and interrupt our free dialogue with their opinions. And that's what they did.
Well, it's our meeting, like,
It's our meeting, yeah.
Well, so can we, the budget sheets will start to come in. We have one, but
Right.
the budget sheets will start to come in. Should we review them as they come in? Have our questions, and then we meet with the department heads before we go with the board of selectmen and the department heads? Is
I
that?
think we should meet with the department heads.
Yeah, that was the way it used to be.
Alone, we don't need the board of
Isn't that how
selectmen.
Yeah, it's always been that
We
way.
always did
The
it that
last
way.
year or two, it's been, we don't count anymore.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly,
Exactly.
Sam. And if that's the case, then disband the committee.
No.
Well, no, if that's the case. Otherwise, we're all doing our volunteer time, we're not getting anywhere.
I don't know, I feel that way too, but that's a different story. The point is that we have a responsibility to the town people to try to keep tabs on what's happening. Last year, whether it was good or bad, I am not in the audience to remember. There was definitely a lot of input or pushback from us, whichever way you want to look at it, on the floor because of the mixed budget that we had no input on. Understand? But they had our opinions in the end, they had their opinions in the end, and it ended up the way it did, but the people we represent are not the select board, we represent the rest of the community. And that's basically why I've been here and would like to stay here,
Okay, that makes sense.
is
Yeah.
because I remember it's a long time ago, I was very adamantly against the subject. The townspeople liked the subject, so I voted for it. Why? Because they wanted it.
So we should go ahead and start making appointments to have them come in.
The department people.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should,
That's how I
Yeah, so-
thought, that's how I thought it was supposed to
through
work.
us.
What was it like before?
Well,
It varied. It's kind of like, go ahead, you've been on it the longest.
when I first started, every department head came in and talked to us. We didn't have the selectmen there. They
Right.
came and talked to us, we talked to them, we back and forth, that type of thing, and then we'd discuss it afterwards, and then, we'd go on to the next one. Then we would have a conversation in the end with the selectmen of where we were coming from, and they had their comments of where they were coming from. But it was never like it was last year. Last year was a tough year.
It was
And this
It
horrible.
was a terrible
It
year.
was horrible.
This year's gonna be awful too, as far as
It
the
was-
money goes.
But,
Right.
Well,
yeah.
but let's try to head off.
Let's not do that again. I don't
I
want,
agree with you
Mm.
1,000%.
Yeah.
so let's start inviting them in,
They being the department head.
Well-
department head, and and their budget should be ready.
And we should get the budget before they come in, so we
Yeah, so
all
we
have
can
a
have a
chance
quick-
to.
Yeah.
So we can look at it.
But here's the other thing that happened. Well, Nelson left. Nelson was supposed to be doing forms.
Well,
and
we
what-
don't know what he's done now. Who knows?
Well, I mean, we saw the forms that came in from the treasurer. and-
We like her form.
Right.
We love
And so the
her.
rest of them are supposed to be matching that.
Yeah,
that-
but did
that
he tell everybody that? Did he give everybody her
No.
form so they know how to fill it out? I mean, we don't even know what happened
Well, I did forward what he had sent out for the budget message and the forms.
to all the department heads.
Yeah, I thought I forwarded that.
Oh, I saw,
Here, I
yes.
saw that.
Yes, I
Yes,
saw
you-
that.
you-
So that went to
yeah.
all the department heads.
Right.
Yes, yes.
That went to all
And
department
saying
heads.
With the-
it's gonna
with
be
the
ready
forms,
by January
yeah.
5th. So why don't we make a list and decide who we wanna see first, or who,
Right, or let's
or what?
get
That's the forms.
Get the forms and put together
Oh,
questions.
like
Okay.
Kathy said, look at them
Right.
so that we have our
We'll-
questions
we'll
in
review.
place.
Right.
Okay,
And we
Okay.
give them, yeah,
Yeah.
so we don't wanna bury them with questions that they're hearing for the first time in the meeting.
correct.
Additional things might, but if we see it, and one of the things might be, the transfer request that we got at the end of last year. It's kind of like, yeah,
Well, everybody should understand, we can only go to a certain percentage, we cannot go over that.
well, but at the end of last year, we moved, I think it was 4,500 or 40, something less than 5,000, more than 4,500, into an account for the treasurer. There was one transfer at the end, so the budget that has been prepared, is it with that $5,000, or was that a one-time? So there's questions that we can put together in advance, they can be answered before they come in, at
So those budgets from the department heads are supposed to be in by January 5th?
January 5th.
So our meeting is January 13th.
Yeah.
So can you give them to us so that we can look at them? So on the 13th, we can have our questions? Or are we gonna all get them on the 13th?
No, we shouldn't, yeah, we should have them in advance.
So
Okay.
will people, department heads be coming in on the 13th?
Well, we go on out one.
No, but-
No, we gotta get
no.
our questions.
Well,
So we're gonna meet on the 13th to do the questions for the department heads.
And then start.
And then schedule.
right,
I
so
think we,
Yeah,
and I
I
think
think
we'd be
that's it.
surprised if you're
Okay.
gonna end up meeting more than once a week.
And
Yeah.
but will we get their
Yeah.
sheets?
Yeah, well,
'Cause
that's
isn't
all right,
that-
if they're
Yeah.
productive
That would-
meetings.
yeah,
Was
so-
that an
Correct.
issue?
Well, yeah,
That has been an issue in the past,
What's been an
So-
issue, I'm sorry?
Not getting the budget sheets.
right, because I think they go back and, I think there's a back and forth with the town administrator first, between the administrator and the department head.
Well, maybe we won't have that.
Okay, well,
situation.
But-
DLS says if we don't have the budgets by the deadline, then the budget gets reversed to what was last year. End of story, DLS response. So,
Mm.
and I don't think that we should be giving them any leeway on that. This is financially a crisis that we're in, according
Well,
to everybody.
I think according to what I've read, elected boards and committees, they don't come under the Board of Selectmen. So they should be sending them to us and to the Board of Selectmen at the same time.
Right.
So maybe the plan would be to do the elected boards and
Correct,
positions
yeah.
first.
Because we should get copies of them first,
Right,
then they'll,
So like who?
planning board. Just Board of Health,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
recreation.
town.
Oh, so not a
Cemetery and
department,
parks.
so it's not a department.
No, it
Cemetery
is.
and Parks is appointed.
No, no,
isn't it?
but-
Oh,
No,
they-
they're elected.
yeah, the
Yeah.
planning board's
But-
elected.
But, yeah, the budget,
It's not a
Usually-
department, right? Or is it?
I was gonna say that's the department head.
Planning
but-
board.
No, it's a board, but I'm an elected official on the board.
Right,
So,
right.
okay, and
So anything that's on the ballot.
anything that's on the ballot, the elected
So who
position
does your budget?
could be.
Beth probably, right?
Beth,
Probably.
yeah, Beth
And then
probably
you
does,
go over it.
but there's not much to the budget,
No,
it's
there
dues,
isn't.
there's some dues.
There's a
there's some-
lot of work for the planning board, but not a lot of money.
Nobody, no,
Yeah.
nobody gets paid except for Beth, but she's a town employee.
Yeah, and your expenses are next to nothing.
Well, it's
Is
some dues,
would that be true
memberships,
for most of the
whatever.
boards? I would,
Um,
I mean, kind of like we're.
no, because Board of Health, they have a bigger budget because they
Yeah,
have
right,
the
right.
landfill, they have
Oh,
the,
yeah, the energy, the thing that they, yeah,
all
all
of
that stuff for the
recycle
landfill
center,
in
Mm.
the,
trash, you know, they have all
Recycle.
of that.
Yeah, the trash is interesting because we're gonna talk to them about it, but it's not part of the budget
Right.
because, it's yeah,
So
so
it's
it's kind
kind
of like,
of
so,
like-
yeah, so in
Yeah.
addition to the budget they're preparing, it's gonna, they're gonna,
Now,
we're
do
gonna
we,
continue.
do we meet with the water department?
In the past, we had, but, I think we should try to get them in again. It's kind of.
Okay.
And
Try.
We did last year,
Yeah,
I
we-
think,
we
right?
tried.
Oh, okay.
He came
All right.
in.
We tried, but
I
I thought it
was-
was canceled.
I
thought he
wasn't
backed out.
sure.
That one get, maybe it might have, I don't remember.
Are they-
Yeah.
is
They all
They're,
kind
they're
of
a different
rushed
animal too,
They-
because they have their enterprise.
Right.
But while we're on the subject of that, are they raising the rates?
they are, but
5%?
not very minimal.
Not
And
very
only
minimal?
because a lot of,
5%?
no.
No, okay, sorry.
Well, we're
We-
getting
we
off
need to go
topic.
back.
Well,
We're
it's
getting
probably,
on-
it's probably gonna come out to be like $1.25 a month.
Is this to
Okay,
pay for the lawsuit?
No,
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 okay.
it doesn't do
We,
that.
we need to pull it back in.
Oh,
We
yeah,
were trying to prepare the
So
meeting.
once you
It's kinda
Okay.
like, and we were talking about some of the subjects, so I thought we were there, so I don't wanna.
Okay.
Okay.
Water,
So meet on the 13th to go over what we
what we
have
have, what our
received.
questions,
And
Okay.
then start setting up appointments with people.
Yeah.
Does this mean we'll probably be meeting once a week for a while?
probably, because
Okay.
I know for a while, sometimes we were doing twice a week, but it kinda,
Yeah.
take it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think in February, if we start meeting with the board of selectmen, then it's gonna
It was
be,
the Oreo
Yeah.
thing that did the,
right,
Well, but,
so
because we had our meetings and we had the meetings with the board of selectmen.
we did, yeah, and then,
But we need to
sometimes
get
we
ahead
were
of them.
doing joint meetings twice a week.
do you know what I mean? We need
Yeah.
to be ahead of it so that
Right,
in January, we have our meetings.
but we also want from the board of selectmen, maybe there needs to be the joint meeting on the 3rd, somewhere in January that we talk and discuss, because we need to know what their plan is for the budget too.
What does that mean?
What's that mean? How they're gonna prepare it and put it together, what their real budget message is to us. So instead of waiting until the whole budget is done and giving us the budget message, give us what their budget guidance is and what their plans are for, the organization of the town.
And a lot of this also has to do with the expected receipts, correct?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna, I
Some
was just
reason they
gonna
don't
say that,
discuss
when
that.
do we get what the expected receipts are for next year, so that we know how much money we can
Right,
spend?
the recap sheet, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when do we get that?
Well, we never got
Usually
it
that
last year.
comes later on, because some of the input has to come from the assessor, some of the input, is generated, and, then we have to see what the warrant articles are gonna be, because warrant articles go on the recap sheet. So it's a living document about, where the budget stands and how much money there may be in free cash or whatever to pay for some of these things
Yeah,
and balance it out.
Well, judging by the weather and the fact that the snow plows are out there when there's a millimeter of snow on the road,
no, they
No.
pre-treated the road today, I know,
Mm,
Yeah.
because of the icing that
The
they were
icing.
expecting.
Yeah, they were out there with the
So,
salt or sand or whatever they put down.
Okay,
okay, so.
so that answers a lot of my questions, thank you.
Okay, it's, yeah, a lot of schedules, so we had the 13th schedule, so we'll try to see how quickly we can get the files from the departments that are elected that forward to us.
Were they told a deadline?
They were given a deadline to have them in by January 12th, so we're in the window.
So that's is that all departments?
That's every department.
Every
Yeah.
department, so, okay.
When's
So
our-
does anybody slap their hands if they don't produce?
DLS says if they don't have it by the deadline, then they revert to the prior year's budget.
Yeah, I
That
wonder
works
if
for
we've
me.
ever done that.
I'm sure we haven't,
I'm sure we haven't, because we've.
because we let people
Do whatever
they
they
all do
want.
it.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
so,
mantra here,
kind of,
no rules.
Yeah, so,
so we'll distribute the files so that people have time to look at them, and we can start constructing our messages. Is there any other information? Do we want another BVA? Before we start looking at the budget?
Yeah, we need
See where they
to
are?
also review that too, I think, at our
Mhm.
next meeting,
Okay.
just to see how
Yeah.
the spending is going, because we
And-
have,
In addition to the BVA, should we get an update on the recap sheet
I agree, Dave,
to the
100%.
state for the year?
You mean the FY
Yes.
20?
FY 26
Yes.
receipts.
I had asked for FY 25, so we'll request 4 documents, so we wanna see the final budget for FY 25, the final receipts and how it matched to the recap sheet for FY 25.
Yeah,
All that information should be available because it was submitted for certification for the free cash, which we're waiting for. I haven't heard. if we're back.
well, I'd also like to know how we're doing this year on receipts.
Right, so, yeah,
right,
we,
exactly.
right, but, yeah, because that helps us plan. Are we on target for what we said we were gonna get?
Right,
Are we 50% there?
yeah,
We didn't do that last year though, did we?
no,
we didn't really get the receipts.
No, we had no idea how much money we had spent.
But
well, it's not that as much, but you wanna see, are you on target with the recap sheet? If you said you were gonna get, 2 million from general receipts, the additional things that aren't listed individually, there was gonna be 2 million on revenue for building permits and other things that are charged for. Did we hit those targets? Yeah, can we break it down by department? It's kind of, where they were in FY 25 versus where we are in FY 26.
But we should be able to get 5 to 6 months of revenue.
Yeah.
It might not be 100%
It-
accurate, but at least we get a clue.
Right, so we see where it is. We've had two sets of tax bills go out, so tax bill revenue we should be able to see that. Like I say, the other revenues for where they are.
Yeah, kind of like how we're looking at the trash.
well, we also
Yeah.
want an update on the trash.
We continue to, yeah, that's a continued
Let's
piece.
get
We're
that.
still waiting for Elizabeth to come up with the tonnage reports added to the revenue reports.
They don't have that yet?
Haven't seen it. She said she'd mail it, so I'm gonna, in addition to those things, we'll add the reports. We'll ask for Elizabeth's report for
How long has it been going on?
trash.
Was it August? When did it start?
September, was it,
September.
was it a
There's-
1 September?
There's actually sort of two dates. We sort of entered this year, and the first 2 months were paid for by the stabilization fund transfer.
Mhm. I
Okay,
remember
So,
that, yeah.
so that's the piece. It's kind of like, so it really started in FY '26 in earnest, but we didn't start collecting using the stickers until September 1st. So we gave July and August to buy the stickers and get them in and get the buy-in to the program.
so,
So the sticker will run out at the end of this year, June 30th. The 2025 sticker will go away, and townspeople will have to have a sticker for 2020, for the FY.
We have it sticking out, don't we?
We
Yeah.
have a sticker
Yeah,
now,
but what he's
but
saying is the sticker,
the
the
yellow
sticker that we bought
it's
runs
only
out at the
good,
end of June.
right,
And we'll have to buy a new sticker.
for July 1st.
And the next.
Oh, you don't get your number renewed?
No,
You
because
might.
because of the colors, if somebody
Well-
new joins.
Oh, yeah,
or
so
drops
what are we
off,
gonna do?
I
Put a
bet-
sticker on top of the sticker on top
I
of the sticker?
bet,
You
because
do that
how
on your
they,
license plates,
you
No, but
do
you
it,
can
on-
take it off. Oh, no, license
you
plate.
can.
That
Yeah.
means
I don't take it off my
But
license.
I don't
I
either.
just stick it over.
I-
So it's
Sorry, it's
Yeah.
just kinda like paint.
But, yeah, they might, maybe it's
But
gonna
we
be,
don't know what the charge is gonna be for the stickers next year.
Right,
Right.
not
Because
yet,
it's gonna
that-
be for
Lower.
12 months, and it might be lower, or it might be more.
more,
We don't know.
depending on,
right, it depends on.
It'll depend on how this year goes.
Right.
so
Yeah.
how does, cause we gave them 160,000.
Correct.
So how does that overall affect their budget? Because next year, they're not gonna have that 160,000 that we gave them this
I
year.
thought a lot of
They
that
were
covered
supposed to
the
make
first 2
it
months
up.
of
That
that.
Rather,
was finished.
rather, it,
July, and I thought that
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
that
I'm gonna cut
160 was
back
July,
on-
August.
yeah, I'm gonna cut
And
back
then
on the discussion
we'll
on
see.
Yeah.
trash. It's kind of like, because it wasn't on the agenda, we're
Yeah.
preparing,
Okay,
so trash will be
Okay.
discussed in the next.
Yep.
But,
Alright.
but
Yeah,
your
so-
question, because the more we discuss it, if people are watching, they will hear things that,
They're not supposed to.
that are, so we'll continue the trash discussion on the,
So on the next agenda, we have constables, trash, the
Yeah.
BVA,
yes,
the
presentation.
revenues,
And who was coming in?
and then review the budgets that we have.
right, yeah.
Okay.
It is, it's kind of like we get into the heavy, but
Order out pizza.
I know.
it's not in our budget.
I know.
So it's kind of like, we can add a line for that.
Okay.
So we need to get right to it and keep the
yeah,
conversation
going,
focused.
yeah.
Okay.
So, thank you for that. It's kind of like, okay, so we have the January 13th meeting scheduled. We'll schedule others after that, or do we want to try to?
Do you think we should just schedule weekly meetings at that point?
Yeah, I think we had held off.
Because we can always cancel it.
I think
Right,
we
but
should
if we-
schedule,
Okay,
I really
if we-
do.
How is everybody with Thursdays? It's kind of like, I know we've been meeting Tuesdays, but
Thursdays.
Board of Selectmen meet on Tuesdays, and there are a lot of other boards that meet on Tuesdays.
Oh, and Thursdays.
But,
I
yeah,
do better on Tuesdays.
I do better on
Okay.
Tuesdays.
I do too.
okay, then Tuesday it is. We kinda-
And we don't have to, even, if they meet here, we can meet in another room.
We can go to the,
Great Hall if we
Great
have to,
Hall if
or
we
we can
have to.
downstairs.
it's kind of like,
Because
if
who
we're
else
not.
meets on Tuesdays? I know Board of Health is on Mondays, Conservation's Wednesday,
Hmm,
Plan Board's Monday.
Monday, yeah, planning board's Monday.
Yeah, so maybe Tuesday isn't that bad.
No,
We could
I,
probably do room 2 also.
yeah, so we'll alternate weeks up here with Board of
Okay.
Selectmen, because they do first and third,
Right.
and those weeks we'll meet downstairs, if we like this room better, or we can stay constantly in meeting room 2,
Okay.
so.
So we're
Okay,
gonna
we
start
will
off with the 13th?
Set that up, 13, 20, 27.
And then the
14, 20.
3rd, the 10th, and the 24th is with the selectmen, right?
No,
Um,
we're not doing
potentially-
that.
if we're meeting weekly, it probably isn't a bad idea. They meet with them, see if, have conversations if there's questions.
See where
back and
we
forth.
are. Yeah,
Where
okay.
we are, where they are,
So we're gonna still meet on the 3rd, the 7th, 10th, and 17th with them?
Well, we'll
Um,
still meet. may
We'll
not be.
meet,
We'll just
it may
meet,
not be
okay.
with them.
Okay,
All right,
It's kind of like,
okay.
it'll be with them.
That's
as-
February anyway.
Yeah.
So we're just having 2 meetings in January?
No, we,
Three,
What's the, what,
13, 20, 27.
oh, 20 and 27.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, okay.
okay, and additionally, it's kind of like we'll get information, if it's available, we'll bring it on to.
Can you post it ahead of time? Yeah.
Um, what I was thinking is, in addition to just the budget, there's other accounts that have been created around, like the election account.
Like the what?
Town clerk. There was.
The special article,
There's a lot of special article out there,
yeah,
that we wanna make sure we review this year, we don't wanna get hit.
right, because some are completed, I think they went through that last year. Some special articles were finished, but there was money
Right.
left over, so they were able to take that.
Right,
But doesn't it have to be a town meeting vote?
it has to be a town meeting vote if we're
Yeah.
gonna, if there are, so that's something that we have started, on a somewhat regular basis, look at all those.
Yeah.
But
Good
what I was
idea.
thinking is there's certain ones that they want to carry over year to year, and we wanna make sure if they've used any money out of them, do they
To
need to
reimburse
replenish?
them or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, so little, it's in there, but you know, until the money runs out, nobody notices.
Yep.
That, and I don't think, we can't deal with surprises on the budget. We gotta know. And, the other is, the revolving accounts.
Yeah,
Take a look at them. It's kind of like, because every year it's kind of like just that one article says, yeah, this is the amount we want to renew in this revolving account.
yeah, and is it enough?
Is it
Because
enough?
things are going up, so.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
Well, it's a problem, everything's going up.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, on those that are revolving, do we have enough in there or, you know?
all right.
Sorry, it's kind of like just making that final note.
Mhm.
With that, I didn't have anything else, any subjects anybody else wants on
To
agenda?
put on the agenda? No, I think I'm good.
Well, the only thing I came in with, my brain, you've already talked about, and that's the budgeting and the sheets there, we're gonna be handed, that they're not done in 6 points.
That's something, yeah, we had talked, one of the things, not just the content, the format of the content, but the format of the output. You know, how do we make sure that you're not trying to look at 6 fonts or smaller
Yeah,
in the books that we had last year? Speaking of, do we want budget books again? Because those need to.
Well, I have one I can turn back in because it's empty except for the
Yeah.
dividers.
Okay.
I can bring it in on the 13th to.
I have mine right here, I mean,
I
I
have
can
mine.
certainly empty it out.
Yeah, no, but we want them printed again. It's kind of like we want the.
Yeah, well,
But the binders.
As long as I can read it.
Because that's a request for.
as long as it's readable, yeah. I would-
See what we can do with that.
There were some decent ones last year.
So we'll look for them all to be consistent. Okay, I will entertain a motion to adjourn,
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Yeah.
second it.
7:07 PM. All in favor?
Aye.